it's a sad time. It really is. Um, I truly believe that it's not. At one time people try to say, "Oh, these people are not being open and honest with with these men, and this is happening. Men are coming back in retaliation." No, these men truly know what they're doing. And I think it's a psychological thing. It's like when a butch queen sleeps with a guy that doesn't identify as being gay. There's a lot of it, and I speak with this from experience because in my early beginnings, I could not accept. I would be with the man, but I could not accept the fact that I was with the man, and so that brought on a lot of anger, and I had anger issues, and I was very physical. I'm no longer that person because I've learned how to express myself verbally and emotionally. But I used to be very abusive at one time in my life, and it gave me no greater joy than to beat the shit out of you because I couldn't understand why I was with you.
Wow.
And I never shared that with anybody, and I'm sharing that with you.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored.
But I believe it just starts with the person, and it's bad because people are suffering. So many people are suffering because they're releasing this on people, and they're taking people away from us that we love. People that are genuinely happy.
Wow.
That have transitioned, that are living their life, that are loving their life at this point, because then they wouldn't want to do transition.
Wow.
I believe it starts with the individual.
Right.
And, I think you need to be more open and honest about. I mean, you can attest to this. I see so many times people, they're married, they got children, and they're on Adam or they're on Grinder or this, that, and the other. And I mean, what really is the deal here?
Wow.
Going through this psychological roller coaster. 1 minute I want to do this, 1 minute, and then you're angry. You're either taking it out on the woman you're with, or you're taking it out on the man or the training that you're with.
Wow. That's so real.
But, I mean, really, what can be done? Because unless they're willing to be open and honest and talk to somebody, there's always going to be a problem.
Right.
And it's a risk that I believe the transexuals take. It's like playing Russian roulette.
Right. How do you feel? How exactly do you feel about the whole transitioning thing?
About the whole what?
The trans lifestyle.
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, because I'm just being very open and honest, and basically I'm just talking about where I was and where I am now. In the beginning, I was scared of them. I didn't understand it, but like when I was younger, my first experiences were these big, burly, they were drag queens, but I equated them to transsexuals. I just knew it was somebody, it was Herschel Walker in a dress. I didn't know what this was, and it scared me. Terrible. But there were certain individuals that made me at ease, so to speak. My mother Avis being one.
Right.
And getting to know her, Octavia St. Laurent, having watched her transition, and even the sisters in my house watching their transition, like Tanae Pendarvis, I was like, okay.
Shout out to Tanae.
The transition is so beautiful. It's just like, it's art.
Yeah, it's
it really is.
It's expression, yes.
Right. And I watched, and going back to my sister today, I watched her transition, and she didn't have an easy time in the beginning because, the girls couldn't take her.
Ooh, shit.
But she was a natural. I used to always tease her. I would say, Lord, look at them hips. Because, before she transitioned, she always had little hips and everything. I said, oh, my God. And, we was like, let's get her up in them, And, and, the girls just they tried a few times. Even one child snatched her wig off while she was on the floor. But you know what? Thank God she had those roots. I believe she's Trinidadian and something else. But she had enough hair under that to shake it out and keep on walking. So I'm like, go ahead. That was her moment.
Do you feel that drag queens play a very big role as mother and raising a lot of the ballroom kids in the ballroom community?
I mean, anybody, can call themselves a mother. Like, I'm very adamant about, about parenting and leadership. I can go on for days about that, and I'm very, because I'm a direct descendant of the original mothers of ballroom. You know what I'm saying? And I know what that gives. And today, it's rare to find that. That's why, you don't hear a lot about me or, what I do with my kids because it's none of your business. My welfare is my children's main concern. When I talk to them, it's like, I don't think I'm going to walk this ball. Okay, what's going on with you? Okay, how are you doing?
Hell yeah.
And to make another plug, like I was about to say before, in the spring of 2016, I'll be sponsoring a conference, a weekend conference, a leadership conference, a ballroom leadership conference, where we will address issues on proper leadership, proper parenting.
You better.
It will involve a lot of different aspects of parenting, helping guide and cultivate, the youth of ballroom. And I think when we begin to address the root of the issues, then we can start to get some respect back in ballroom and get some order back in ballroom.
Yeah.
Because how can you lead a child when you're just as bad as when you're out not setting a proper example?
The road on the highway, honey.
You out here cutting up and doing things, shutting down balls. How you expect the children to act?
You just can't take it.
Am I right or wrong?
Let's talk about reading.
So,
what is, what I wanted to bring up too? Not to change the subject real quick, but what is this rumor that the government created the HIV virus to kill African Americans, Latinos, and the gay community?
I would say it got out of hand because it's not just killing. If they did, it backfired because HIV cases among African American women are at the highest. Okay,
wow.
It's affected every demographic you can name. So I would say it backfired. I saw some post that somebody put that about this preacher had up on his billboard that AIDS is God's curse to homosexuals.
Wow.
I said he needs to kick rocks.
Well, the truth is that it's false.
Yeah.
It's just a rumor, honey. Now,
it is.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you about is, let's talk a little bit about Chastity, a.k.a. Danny Tiberius Ninja, and you being a publisher. Did you cancel out on me?
Did
you cancel out on me?
You cancel out.
Let's talk about the book that Chastity, a.k.a. Danny Tiberius Ninja, Stretch Ninja, wrote. It's a book about his transgender life, right?
Okay. Okay. I'm with you now. You lost me for a second. Okay.
Caught you off guard there for a minute, huh? Ballroom Radio brings the legends, brings the icons. We know all the tea. No words. No words.
I mean, I commend Tom. I commend anyone that publicly making, like the process and the experience real for everyone. Also someone else had written a book that was, very encouraging to a lot of people. Tyra Ross had written a book where she talks about, her life as a transgender and being of West Indian descent. I commend that. I mean, I think we made a lot of strides in just changing the paradigm of what the LGBT community is perceived as.
Right.
I still have issues concerning how it's portrayed in the media.
Right.
Everybody has to be this flamboyant, pink wearing. It's just horrible the way it's portrayed in the media. We're not professionals. We're not progressive. We're promiscuous. It's just, I hate the way media, the LGBT is portrayed in the media. And I wonder why. We talk about everything else. Why are we never address? We can address, blacks in the media. We can address this in the media. We never address how gays and lesbians are portrayed in the media.
Right.
So I have to.
Okay. We actually had Tyra Ross on a previous show, and we spoke about her book. We actually promoted her, and the children gagged. They gagged when they seen the cover and they read the book. But there's a lot of people who are doing a lot of big things in the LGBT community, and Paul, I'm seeing they're turning up. There's a big market that's starting up, and more job opportunities and rights for the girls. How do you feel about Medicare paying for gender reassignment surgery?
I think it's wonderful.
Word. Any advice you want to give to the girls before they decide to do that operation?
Yeah. Don't try to skip any steps in the process. I mean, because I want to say this, there's no shade, no tea. But a lot of girls never think about tomorrow. They're only living in today.
Exactly.
And sometimes you need to look, I'm always doing, my long-term, my short-term goals, and I ask people around me, where do you want to see in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? I even ask my children that. Think about what you're doing always. Think about the long term. It's not to say this will discourage you from doing, but just think, play the tape all the way through, so to speak.
Work.
Because at one point when you transitioned and now you're like, okay, you're bored with this because you're no longer young and pretty.
Okay.
And this, like I said, there's no shade, no tea, but a lot of people just living in the here and now, being sad because you look fishy. Okay, your boys are not clocking. Okay. Oh, you're living, you're getting life. Everyone's giving you life because you're this, you're that.
And you're not wondering about the after effects.
Feel when the tape is played.
Okay. Wow. That's deep. What some of the things I tell these kids nowadays is, or some of the kids who, try to adopt me as a father figure. And especially my trans kids, I tell them, because all I hear is, oh, I want to get this done and I want to get that done, and I'm like, you know what, you have to take it easy, you know what I mean, because you're going to grow into a more mature person. Your body's going to get a little bit bigger. You're going to grow into, your mature life cycle. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to be careful about how fast or how much silicone that you want to put in your body, because when you might grow that naturally, and then when you get to that level, it's going to be an OD mess. And then the girls are going to kiki on you. You're not going to get that life anymore. And then there goes your mental status. You don't know that.
And we still need to be careful climbing up on people's tables, getting body work done.